Hello, I'm Elizabeth Mellott. I'm a professor of photography at Collin College. I am a mixed media artist. I do photography, bookbinding, and when I do mixed media, sometimes I include clay, sometimes found objects, paper making, all sorts of stuff. I have a Master's of Fine Arts in Photography, a minor in Sculpture. I started doing bookbinding in undergrad, and then I've continued on with a lot of continuing education courses in bookbinding and master printing for darkroom skills. And I've been teaching full-time now for 16 years at Collin College, and I also teach children in the summer. And so I've been doing that for 25 years. So I've really been in art for a long time. So I want my work to talk about social concerns, environmental concerns, and sometimes that includes emotional concerns. But I really want it to be a platform for conversation and for healing. And so sometimes the work currently is more personal, more emotional. And then other work I've done is I've done a lot of work about the environment. But I really want it to be a way for people to learn a little and feel like they can start a dialogue about different concerns that are in the world that we probably should all discuss, take time to discuss. In art, I love Imogen Cunningham, her commitment to photography, her still lives, the commitment to lighting and arranging compositions. Dorothea Lange, I really love how she connected with her audience and really believed in bringing the way people were living, bring it forth. She was part of the FSA. But also my influences are master naturalist, my neighbors, my community. I think watching the people around me inspire me a lot to make art. And then I look at the artist to look at their commitment and their styles. I think I really started to find my style when I took one class that was bookbinding, which was my senior year in undergrad. And it felt like all the pieces came together when I took that class because I could do photography, mixed media, I could make work that was story-oriented. And so that was 20-some years ago that I took that class. So probably years of trying different things until I felt like one thing finally clicked. This collection is, it was a very quiet period in my life at the time, and I was spending a lot of time alone, a lot of time in my room, and instead of fighting against being in that state, I wanted to accept that I was in that state, and so I photographed just these quiet little moments in my bedroom, maybe the way the cloth looked, maybe the way my hands looked, just to kind of allow for that space and that period of healing that you need, and accepting that we all go through these times where we need to be really reflective and not feel like it's incorrect or it's wrong to not feel social at the time. So yeah, so that's what that one's about. So I'm using Polaroid transfers, and so that is an old, I say old just because Polaroid changed whatever 10 years ago. But it's an old film that's Polaroid 669 film, and you shoot the Polaroid and then you peel it apart before it's developed, and you take the side with the inks and you put it on paper and you rub the inks onto paper. And so you're still not on the plastic backing like a normal Polaroid. You've transferred the inks onto paper. And then putting the Polaroid or putting the inks on paper allows me to go in and pencil or watercolor, and also it allows it to be more tactile than a plastic Polaroid. So, and 669 film's not around anymore. When Polaroid was changing, I bought some, I froze it. I still haven't used it. But the new Polaroid, I haven't tried the new Polaroid to see, but there might be some new Polaroid that's trying to do what 669 used to do. I wanted them to be small, because I felt like that matched with the concept, and I wanted them to have a tactile quality, just because I was paying attention to like cloth in my room or the way the air felt in my room. So I felt like I should be able to choose the paper quality that the prints are on. And then also part of the process was to take the photograph, make the transfer, but then to revisit it and have to color on it, which is very meditative, and now it's pretty popular to color. But so a long time ago, I knew that for me to rework something was just another layer that I needed to reflect on the image. That is tough. Is really tough. I try really hard to schedule days to do art, and for me, I can't just do an hour of art. It has to be a full day because I have to be in that mind space to do art. And so sometimes it gets pushed to just being spring break or just being winter break. And then it's great because then I can focus every day and work easily 10 hours a day on art. But I tend to do these bursts of art, and then it might be a month without, I'm still photographing, but I'm not finishing my negatives or finishing out work. But you have to schedule it in. And one of the best things to do is schedule a show, because then you have a deadline. Then you have to make time. So this show, what I'm most excited about is Nate and I have very different approaches to art, but they're both Polaroid. But I love that we're showing together, and we have this one theme of Polaroid, and you'll see, but our work is different, the way we approach work is different, and it's been fun us looking at each other's work and seeing how it fits together.